how to make this video without complicating it, because I know sometimes it can be very difficult for you to understand this information, right? It's not simple, man. It's not easy. But here goes nothing, man. Without actually having to go deep and confusing you guys, carbon beings have always existed, right? Always. Always. Like, you're very old, you're very old. And I don't even want to speak from the perspective of a soul, because that's a different story, right? But initially, you're very old. The first beings that ever came down here, man, the Homo erectus, right? You guys must know about this story. When they came down here, man, it was through like cells which had to evolve, and which they did, right? And the way it evolved, it was like really an amazing thing, man. How your carbon can actually work itself to grow, no matter what environment that might be. As long as there's like water, it's gonna make things much more easy, because water is part of your essential, man. It is part of you. You might want to call it the marine world or whatever it is, but it is part of the nature that is within you all the time, man. That is why as carbon beings, it is very important for you to always go back to the waters, especially if you have to initiate for something that's very important, that's going to bring a great balance in your life. Water balances your energies, especially when you drink it. It is able to balance your chakras if you're meditating on that goal to align yourself, right? You can't do anything, man, without using water to align things in a great level that will bring great change in your life. That's part of the whole creation, man, right? So the Homo erectus, when the Anunnaki came down here, they started the Homo erectus. And the way they were, it was like a brilliant and an amazing thing. And it was more like, let's take this DNA and advance it even way to become very superior. And which it happened. The Homo erectus did actually like go extinct, but not all of them are, like not all of the Homo erectus got extinct. Initially, they are like your ancestors at some point, right? Because they are a part of us. You get what I'm saying? So when the DNA was taken from the Homo erectus, right, it was in a way to advance them to become Homo sapiens, which you are today. And all of those cells, when they were battered, when they were mixed with the Anunnaki DNA, they were placed inside of a dolphin, a womb, a female dolphin. And those dolphins were transported here in this planet in South Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean, right? And when they were placed here, automatically, those cells fell into the oceans in the deepest ground, and they started to grow the very same way as a fetus grow in the mother's womb. It was the very same thing, but when you grew, you became mermaids. And keep this in mind, that was your own doing, right, of becoming like that, because you are able to survive in any environment and even create something that is so beautiful nobody could ever expect. And you became mermaids and mermen, right? And you lived in the waters for like millions and millions of years, exploring the oceans, going through dimensions, going through shifts, understanding everything that has to do with the marine world. It was part of your essence. Now I'm talking about all the carbon beings that lived here in South Africa before they went all over the whole entire world, right? Exploring and increasing in numbers, right? There was a war that broke out outside of the cosmos between the extraterrestrial beings. A fight that happened between the Anunnaki beings, right? And there was a weapon that was used to hit Earth that created a tsunami. And all of you, at least like half of you, were forced to get out of the oceans and be on the land. And the rest of the mermaids stayed behind with the dolphins, right? Because initially the dolphins was the one that played a role in teaching you everything that has to do with the waters and the spiritual connection. More like reminding you what is your true essence. Now that you are here in this physical plane, no longer on the outside of the cosmos, although there are some of your siblings that are still out there in different planets, you had to learn and remember everything again, but you were so advanced that it wasn't actually something very hard to grasp, right? It was something that's natural. And the waters, you had like a very strong magnesium, man, right? It was very high in advance. This allowed you to become like green or change in any different form of a color that was vibrating high. Your indigo color, your blue color. Some of you guys were like blue. You had like blue skin, but some of you guys had like different skins that had like high vibration. You're able to shapeshift in different forms and animals and creatures. Actually, before that, all of the animals that you see on the land today, that's how they came here in this planet, through cells. And they were put in all the dolphins, man. That is why you find out like there's some other creatures that are on the land, but you can actually also find them in the waters. Some have actually gone extinct in the waters, but they're still on the land. It's always a cycle that keeps on repeating itself, the great intelligence. So when you came out of the waters, you were like the sand people in different markers in genetics. You find a sand person that looks like an Indian, looks like a Chinese, looks like the Nguni, looks like the the Botswana and Basotho as well, right? Different markers, man. Different markers. Why? What actually made that? Because part of you had traits of 9 ether beings, which is a part of you now, right? It is a part of you. That's what makes you the 9 ether being. Your way of coming into this plane, you had to go through the portal of the sun, which is the black sun, not the sun that you see in the sky, the black sun, which is the true original sun. And you adopted all of that cell of the sun to be a part of you from a physical plane, so that when you become exposed in the sun, it doesn't affect you because it is one and the same thing as you are, right? One thing about your structure, it is able to adopt any form of an environment and survive and even be better than it, right? But before you came down here, you had already created these portals, right? You manifested them all. It was more like a time will come whereby Mother Nature or planet Earth will need to be protected and saved. Okay? So when you came out of the waters as sand people, you started to explore the whole entire planet. Right? Which was something that's really, really amazing. And as sand people, they knew all the time, besides the fact that they had a communication with the dolphins and all of that, how they actually can be able to interpret and communicate things into their mind in a telepathic communication, because that's how the dolphins communicate. As sand people, you knew that it is important to always go back to the waters and rejuvenate your cells, rejuvenate your energy, rejuvenate your chakras, and be aligned all the time. Drink, wash, go back to the land. It was like more like a daily routine, right? Part of you knew and understood like the power and the grace of the waters, what it really, really meant, because that's where you came from, man. You were mermaids before and left your dear siblings there, man, right? One of the reasons why your fingers are still connected as webs and your toes. You look at the mermaids today, they are like that. So technically what I'm saying is mermaids are carbon. They are black like you and I. But as the carbon beings, you are everywhere, man, when it comes to the physical body. But in different markers. But carbon is the same, right? And what like usually happens when the child is born, or when the embryo starts to actually form, there's a stage whereby the soul will be attracted with the same body, because the atomic structure is symbolic and similar to the soul from a physical perspective, and the soul is from a spiritual perspective, which is the electromagnetic field that makes you an energy being. One of the reasons why this body is perfect to be the home of the soul, and only it as the 9 ether being carbon structure. But when it comes to the white people, because they only have melanin, not neuromelanin, which is carbon. The only thing that can actually reside inside of them is just electricity, the electro, which is the spirit, right? Without a soul. Because the soul, the way it is so powerful, it needs to be sustained. And the human body can't do that, unfortunately. But your carbon body, because it has that light and that heat that is very supreme, your soul is able to be in this carbon body well, without any disturbance or any problems, and even be able to advance in this intellectual genius, conscious awakening to be expanding. Like, your body has a key to help your soul to expand even greater. And when you came here on this land, all of your souls took over these bodies, right? Because you've always been, man. You are very ancient. Now, people are having a difficult time to understand that the marine world is a part of you. All the dolphins and whales are custodians to your dreams, spiritual, that you always have. Which is why today you have like self-initiates, right? As a self-initiate, to be honest, when you start to have those dreams, you are getting them all from the dolphins. Because most of the dreams that you have, they're more like a telepathic communication from the dolphins to you to start to actually advance, to teach you about God, about spirituality, about connection, about everything that you have to actually learn about art as well. Anything that has to do with art, most of the time, that intelligence comes from the dolphins, right? In the form of a dream to tell you, do this and this and that, connect in this way. One of the reasons, as I explained on my TikTok, that they don't want you guys to have an interaction with dolphins, especially carbon beings. They don't want you guys to swim with them. Notice that they take them far away from all people, man, and act as if they are protecting them. Yet they are protecting themselves. Because they know that if you have this relationship with the dolphin, which is your true ancestor as a carbon being, they will start to teach you everything you need to know about yourself. But right now, mermaids are trying to do that. That is why most of the time you see people that are having connection with mermaids, because they're trying to like give you all the teachings and make you guys remember. Because mermaids can be able to make you guys transform again and be like mermaids. But one of the reasons why you stayed the way you are like this today is because you spend a lot of time outside of the oceans. Then you were incapable of transforming again to become mermaids. Right? Because most of the time you were able to do this, you would actually go to the waters and be a mermaid, come out of them, come outside of the waters, and just be a being. You're able to actually control and shapeshift in any form, man. You are a shapeshifter, man. All carbon beings, man. You are a shapeshifter, right? In ancient times, you were able to change in any type of a creature you wanted to be. Through sounds and vibration. That is why most of the time, your way of communication or your language is always resonating with the animals. One of the reasons why the sands were able to communicate with dolphins, because dolphins communicate through clicks, sounds, and movement of their body, and whistles. What I also explained that people who like to say that mina nginabalus, you're getting all of that gift from the whale. That is a communication as your ancestor to become advanced spiritually and start to see things by communicating with this whistle that is inside of you, connected, right? So the dolphins are the gateway, man, to your dream portal all the time. They help you advance, especially if you're a self-initiate. Together with the people that literally go to the waters and start to be initiated. The background of that communication comes from the dolphins, but they using your ancestors for you to be able to see that you're being initiated by this and that. Sometimes you'll be initiated by a snake or not a reptilian, a mermaid, right? Because that is part of your essence. And a lot of you are still having that connection, man. That's why you have like dreams, seeing a mermaid, being with a mermaid. It is your true self, man. It is your true power, right? It is trying to teach you so many great things, man, that connect you with the spiritual world, which is part of your which is part of your essence. Some of you guys start to see crystals in your dreams being given by mermaids, right? It is something that's connected with you, man. You can't take away this marine energy from you, man. It's always going to be a part of you, whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, man. And it goes beyond to the point that the system has learned this about dolphins, and my theory is they've captured some of the dolphins to control some of your guys' dreams, right? So that you start dreaming about negative entities and open yourself to portals that you are not supposed to actually be around from the first place. Dolphins have like that. Okay, when you look at a dolphin's pineal gland, it is very big. You might actually Google this, right? It is very big and broad. They don't talk about this most of the time, but they are able to send like signals from like miles away that initially like puts the telepathic communication to form that dream in your mind when you're sleeping. Start to actually travel. They are the ones who actually are connecting you with this other side of the spiritual world. It's more like helping you. When time goes on, when you graduate, you'll be able to do it on your own. I'll give a typical example, man. I always, like, if I want you guys to dream about me, I can do that, man. I be in the ether and start doing it. And I visit you guys in your dreams. And then you start dreaming about me. Especially to those who, like, deeply need my help. I come there to your dreams and help you out. And things start to change in your life. Right? It's a telepathic communication, man. And all the mermaids and the dolphins are trying to teach you this. Of course, the dolphins won't be able to come out on the land and start walking like mermaids can when they shapeshift. They can only be in the land and be in the sun. And you've noticed, mermaids love sun gazing, man. Where do you think all the sun gazing comes from? Why do you think I keep on telling you about sun gazing? Right? Because I want your consciousness to rise. Because the sun is the true essence of your being. Never deny your power. But let me go back to talking about the system, how it has hijacked this whole marine world to make sure that it destroys a lot of people. Because they know that the marine world is everything that builds so many things, man. Dating back from the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantis, rather. What really transpired and happened there, man. It was a real thing, right? But we're not talking about that today. So the system, it knows that in order for them to actually build this matrix, they had to use some of this energy from the people by learning from them and using their energy and their soul to tap into the deeper state of the conscious vibration to create all that is you see today, right? From technology, bro. Dolphins are way more advanced. And all that genius you have today that connects with everything, it is because of that vibration that from the dolphin that was also connected with a lot of us, which we have an inhabit in our mind. We are like technology, man. Our chakras and our crystals inside of us are the ones that spark that beacon of technology, which makes you be able to turn into anything you want. From an expression of the mind, drawing it and being artistic about it, the next thing is actually putting it to become in a physical plane. So they hijacked all the marine spirit and turn it upside down so that you become afraid of it. Because I'm telling you, most of the time you look at an artist dancing, singing, doing poetry, whatever, you start to see them eyes changing. Not the ones though that are like reptilian. I'm not talking about that. Initially, your guys would actually see people's eyes becoming so different, man. Why? Because the true form of their being, which are mermaids and mermen, start to actually be. It happens all the time, right? It shows this form of its true nature. Then you end up feeling this vibration of a person so different, man, then you become scared. Why? Because you've been taught that the marine world is nothing but evil. All that is in the marine world, man, is just energy. It's up to you how you choose to use this energy, whether in a positive way or in a negative way. So I can always tell you that energy is just energy. How do you want to use it? Positively or negatively? So this marine world, man, or this marine spirit, everybody has it, man. Because you came from these waters. It is no longer a secret, man. A lot of you guys know that the whole entire galaxy is full of water. That's the marine world right there. And every time you're constantly hating on it, you're hating yourself, man. Instead of you understanding who you truly are and how you can use this energy to better yourself, you keep on actually putting it in a negative way. and teaching other people out there that it is negative. I know that a lot of people have a different experience of interacting with this marine energy, and some of you guys, it is more like negative, and you want to spread the whole entire like experience in other people. Then you like more like brainwashing them, because the system is the one that's actually controlling and coercing you guys to have that energy. Especially when you don't understand anything about yourself, man. You become at a vulnerable state that it is easy for you to be abducted, because your vibration will never increase. Because whatever that is the truth, you want to disagree with it. And that's what the system wants all the time. Those who are behind the simulation they created for you to be in the one place and never ever be like advanced ever again, but remain here in this low vibration. I'm telling you, man, all the extraterrestrial beings that didn't want to come down here, they never thought that it was going to happen, that Mother Nature was going to be able to shift as it is doing right now. It is because of you, your essence, rising up and waking up, man, to your true self, who you really are. And what is it that you need to do with the energies, man, and interact with it to better advance yourself? Technically, when you advance yourself as a collective consciousness, the Mother Nature is able to also do that. And when time goes on, as the separation keeps on happening, Mother Nature will take its own people and be in high vibration with you guys, and let those who want to stay behind with the low vibration to be here. Once the chaos is over and all done, Mother Nature will come back again and be one with her complete essence. And the change will be so great, man, all because of you. One of the reasons why you were sent down here, to make sure that this becomes very possible. You proceed with it, man, without even knowing it, but in your conscious mind, you had it in your mind as part of your calling that it is very important for the Mother Nature to advance. Breaking all there is that is negative, man, but connecting and being one with your higher self. So stop being afraid, man. Allow your true identity, man. You are mermaids and mermen. All the preauricular pits that you keep on having in your ears are like symbolic to that, because whales and dolphins and mermaids have these pits right here, man. You are touched by this great anointing you never thought that you had. You are God beings, man. 9 ether beings, more advanced and powerful. You are a technology, man. Every time you express your ideas and your thoughts to be broad, you expand the whole entire nature, the cosmos, outside, man. From the first universe to the second one that's outside of this dome. You are everywhere, man. Your essence is everywhere. That is almost the time when you wake up to this truth, you become so afraid. Because it's not easy for you now to interact with your true self. You come to the high vibration. But if your vibration was high, it was going to be much more easy for you to be able to tap into this information inside of your mind and just download it. Your whole entire soul has all of that, man, because you lived as energy beings outside of this dome, as electromagnetic beings. So that incorporates the connection of the electricity, which is your spirit. Your body, 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, that makes up this atomic structure that is able to multiply in different markers. The first time they learned anything and everything about your body, it was more like opening up in a different field of creating clones. And they tried to actually the white supremacists have tried to clone souls. It is impossible. You can't clone what has no creation at all. But you can clone a body. It is okay. You can clone a body, but you can never ever clone a soul. I mean, they've spent like billions trying to clone souls, but it was impossible. Entirely impossible, man. You can't create a soul. That is one thing that is very complicated, man, to even start to tap into. It's energy, man. You are that essence of that energy. And that energy takes over this body all the time, man. And your body helps the soul to even advance greatly, man. I'm not making this up, right? Study yourself, man, and know yourself, man. I'm a blue dragon. One of the reasons why I'm always wearing blue. And the background is blue with a little bit of a different color, man, that is very indigo. I'm a blue dragon, man. I'm meant to be here teaching you all of this, man, because the whole entire planet is blue. from the cosmos. One of the reasons why you guys were making a trend that there's a blue moon that was like a signal connecting to my essence, letting you know that the blue planet is rising. Stop being afraid, man. Stop listening to other people telling you otherwise. There are people that spread the fear and the ignorance in misleading people. There's no understanding of anything or of breaking all there is that is negative, but encouraging it. You don't want to encourage all that is nonsense, man. Right? Tap in and meditate, like I always tell you. Return to the cosmos. And be the true essence you're meant to be all the time. You owe it to yourself, man. You don't owe it to anybody else but yourself. You are the last generation. And this is your responsibility to make sure that you follow the path that guides you within. Not something that's outside of you that's guiding you. All you have to do is look within and start to advance. You are the light of the world. The true nature that can be able to make anything possible. You are more than just a body, man. You are an energy being. You lived in the waters, man, for millions and millions of years. Until you came out of it, man, everything started to change. But there's a room for improvement all the time spiritually, man. You don't have to be afraid. Don't be misguided by all the celebrities and people that are misleading you with all their music and their art. Protect your energy, man, because it has a long way to go. Love and cosmic light.